In this week's Parsha Noach, God brings a flood upon the world, destroying all life upon it, except for Noach and his family, plus a small group of every land and air-based creature. They survived the flood in an ark that Noach had built as per God's instructions. After about a year's time, the flood waters had receded, and the land had dried enough such that everyone and everything in the ark could exit and restart their lives. The Torah tells us, what did Noach do after exiting the ark? Noach, by profession, was a man of the land, so he planted a vineyard. He drank from the wine, became drunk, and as a result fell naked in his tent. What was Noach thinking? One of the first things to do after leaving the ark was to plant a vineyard just to get drunk? What are we to think? In defense of Noach, we should realize that the time frame from Noach leaving the ark to the incident of getting drunk actually took place over a number of years and did not occur immediately as seemingly implied by the verse. How do I deduce this? First of all, the Torah alludes to Noach's son Ham as the father of Canaan. But who is Canaan? Obviously, he was the son of Ham, but he couldn't have been born before the flood, as the Torah tells us that only Noach and his 3 sons and their wives entered the ark, no grandchildren. Nor was he born during the time while they were in the ark. So Canaan must have been born sometime after the flood. From a later listing of Noach's descendants, we see that Ham had 4 sons. But which number son was Canaan? Was he the oldest, the youngest, somewhere in between? The Torah is unclear as to which number son is Canaan. What we can say is that the Torah mentions Ham and Canaan in the same breath. Since the Torah is not coming to praise them by their actions but the opposite, this would imply that neither of them was known to have been particularly praiseworthy. A person, however, is not born with a reputation. It takes time to develop one. So at the very least, this episode would have taken place some years after they all left the ark, when Canaan had grown up enough to have developed a somewhat savory reputation. So it did not occur immediately after leaving the ark. What other clues are written in the verse? Noach is a man of the land, meaning a farmer or someone who is expert with working the land. As soon as he left the ark, he would want to get back to working the land, as he and his family would need to eat to survive. After the first plantings, he saw that Adam's curse, that the land was cursed on account of Adam, was no longer in effect. Noach could now in confidence try to plant different types of fruits and vegetables and expect success. So what did he do? Noach planted a vineyard. A vineyard takes a while to cultivate and grow properly, such that it will produce worthy fruit. Why in particular a vineyard? To produce wine. But why would he want or need wine? The very first thing that Noach did when he exited the ark was to build an altar to offer up offerings to God. In other words, his actions upon leaving the ark show that Noach wanted to dedicate himself and his life to the service of God. Why should we suspect or think ill of Noach if the Torah doesn't specifically condemn him? The Torah testified as to his righteousness, and that did not change after the flood. Why then would Noach want wine? Perhaps for libations to accompany the offerings, or maybe to transform a simple meal into a special feast as we do with Kiddush. Either way, the intent was for the vineyard to be used in some fashion in the service of God. Noach had good intentions, but something happened, and instead he drank from the wine, became drunk, and fell. Notice, though, how the Torah does not condemn Noach for cultivating the vineyard, nor even for getting drunk. Instead, the Torah contrasts the actions of Shem and Yefet with the actions of Ham and Canaan. Perhaps what the Torah is trying to do is to use Noach as an example. None of us live in a vacuum. Others see how we act and what we do, and they react in response. Perhaps the Torah is trying to teach us through Noach's actions that we need to put more thought into our actions, as even indirectly they can greatly affect others. Even the most righteous of people, such as Noach, can sometimes fall. If we would put more initial thought into what we do, perhaps that could help prevent a possible unwanted chain reaction of events from occurring. Shabbat Shalom.